stores. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score. So I dream on to someday find that vintage love. I kept on looking, but everyone's such a bore. And out of a sudden, it's the Kauffie Company. The Santa's doing his rounds, fans of Lincolns and Browns. Don't be sorry if you missed it. Kit Kat is a biscuit. It's the Kauffie Company. It's the Kauffie Company. It's the Kauffie Company. Oh yeah, baby, smell the brew. It's the Kauffie Company, and it's shipping to you. Kauffie, Kauffie Company, yeah. Oh yeah, it's the Kauffie Company. It's the Kauffie Company. Coffee,
Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Welcome back to your place of chill. It is the Kauffie Company. It is game day. It is Thursday, the 30th of January, and a very chilly 7 degrees. But we have a debutant on the stream. We have brought Mr. Danalist over from the Spurs Danalist, and we're going to have a good chat pre-game. And we're going to try and cheer ourselves up before Tottenham Hotspur eventually make us miserable. But Dan, how are you doing this morning, sir? How are you
I'm
doing?
good, Ben.
What's
Thanks
happening?
for having me on, man, and big up to everyone in the chat. Good
Always
afternoon to
welcome,
everybody.
Dan. If you want the link, just always say you got a space, and we'll try and make it. We try and do a bit of fun around here, football and fun. That's what we like to have. Even though Spurs are doing absolutely everything they can at the moment to take the fun away from football, but that is fun. That is fun. But I've got my coffee already, so let's see who is in the chat to take us through the show. You've got 24 people in here already. Please make sure you like and sub. We're 90 people away from that elusive 1,000 subscribers, but we're banging on the drum. But let's see who's in the chat. We've got my lovely Jessie. Good to see her. Good to see her. Subscribe to this woman for all the Leeds content you ever need and all the watch-alongs and the fun and the comedy and everything. Just go and sub to Jess. She's wonderful. We got Colin Crossamano. Afternoon all from sunny but cold Caimru. Good to see her. We've got Statue TV. I've never seen you before in my chat, so welcome to the show. Like and subscribe. Let's help us get higher up the table. Andrew Gregory, good to see you. YouTube member, good to see you. Scott M, YouTube member. Hi, Leo, YouTube member. Mr. Mark Taylor, good to see you, bud. Good to see you. Everyone's saying hello. We've got James Flower, good to see you. Flower Power. If you want the link, sir, I'll send you the link over. Like always, good to see you, bud. He's going for a... What the hell's happened? What have you been drinking this morning, buddy? Why are you so positive? What the hell's Flower Power been on? We got Philly. Good to see you, Philly. That's the tribal chief to you, sir. The tribal chief is here. Tom81, Brian's Roomy. Very good afternoon, guys. Big up everyone in chat. Lisa, Chica. We have Lee, the Dorset Spur. Big up, Lee. Hopefully you're well. International Observer. Good to see you. And Ian Ferguson, Sunshine is in the house, YouTube member. Dan, we've got a game today. What's your thoughts?
Well, we need a point, I think, isn't it? Point is enough to get us in that top 8, but we should win this game. Yeah, we're playing against a Swedish team, finished 7th in the league. In their, they had I think they just had a winter break, haven't they? I think I don't know.
They are. They're still on a winter break for another couple of weeks, I believe, but. So they will be fresh. They might be rusty, but they are going to be a bit rusty. But it's no excuse anyway. Winter break, even if they were playing now, we should be beating Elfsborg, shouldn't we? We should be beat. But we said that against Leicester, didn't we, Dan? We said we should be beating Leicester, and Leicester played us off the park in that second half. So you just never know. There are no easy games in the Europa League, are they?
No, there's not. I mean, do you think Elfsborg are better than Leicester? I don't know. I don't
Probably
know much
not, to
about
be
them,
honest.
Ben. I don't know much about them. Like I said, they've picked up a couple of wins in the competition, so it's given them a chance to qualify into the playoff. Yeah, I think they only need a point. So they're going to be putting it all out there tonight. Big game for them. Never played. I don't think they've played a British side before. Or definitely an English side. I think they played Celtic in the Champions League once, but not an English team. So, look, we'll see. We should win this. If we can't win this game, dearie me.
Yeah, and we're joined by the final boss himself. He's jumping on, gracing us with his presence. Aki, how are you doing? And what is your thoughts of the game today? We're shoving you straight in. We're getting you straight in.
Well, first of all, let me say hello to the 31 people that are in there. So hello, should I say hello 31 times or hello times 31? Hello times 31. Big up to my man, Dan. Always a pleasure to see you, brother. And of course you, Aki. I was speaking to someone earlier today and I said, look, the Spurs way, if you look at it, lost to Everton, 1 win in 12.
Yeah.
Lost to Leicester, 1 win in 14 and 7 on the bounce. And now a Swedish team that are, I think, 9th or 10th in the Swedish league, and in the middle of the Swedish winter break. What could possibly go wrong here? What could possibly go wrong?
We're losing tonight now after hearing that. We're losing tonight. This reminds me of that time where Dinamo Zagreb had their manager in the nick and we still lost to them. But firstly, you were talking about them, how Elfsborg only need a point to secure themselves in the playoff. This new format of European football, I love it. I really, really love it. We saw yesterday with the 8 teams that were involved, and 18 teams that were involved, and all that, how that table was juggling up all around, all through the night. This is a really good format, isn't it, Dan? I think
I like it. Yeah, I think every game's important, isn't it? Going down to the last game tonight, so much to play for. Yeah, it makes it more exciting, doesn't it? And I think we like looking at that Europa League table, don't we?
Yeah.
Well, we sixth in that.
Yeah.
should we all
Nosebleeds?
Nosebleeds, indeed.
Pretend that's the table. That's the table we look at. We don't want to look at that Premier League.
But sure, what's your thoughts on the new Europa League and the new European format, bro? Because it is just really exciting. When every game means something, it means it's an anticipation. It's not, oh, we don't have to win this game. It's a free hit. Well, according to fucking Tottenham fans, every game's a free hit. Man City was a free hit. This was a free hit. Galatasaray's there are no free hits in European football now because of the way this system works. If you know you have to win, otherwise that table's going to be moving up and down. You got to go out, or you got to go hell for leather, don't you?
Yeah, you do. I mean, I must admit, when it comes to the new format, I've found recently, if Spurs are in the Champions League, I don't think I've watched a Champions League game. I literally, big up Bobby. We've got to arrange to catch up. We keep missing each other. I haven't watched
Ryan. Ships in the night.
But you got to remember, what happens at the moment with Champions League football is it's during my working time.
Yeah.
So I will watch Spurs today during working time. But when it comes to Champions League, as big as the competition is, I just haven't paid attention. But it does look like the new format in both cups has added a bit of extra spice to the actual, because they know that if you come third, like obviously what we used to do, you drop down a league. It's now vital for these teams to get into the positions that they've automatically qualify or get through to the playoffs. And the people that have got into the playoff part, there are some cracking ties that are going to come out. So yeah, it's looking like a very, very good new format. But in the Champions League,
Of
I haven't
course,
really
Scott
paid a lot
M
of attention.
finds a way of dissing it. I love Scott for this reason. He finds a way of play. The problem with the new format is it makes the games meaningless because it is so hard to not qualify. Man City almost went out yesterday. Yes, I know Man City have not been Man City this year, but there was a time that Man City were going home. PSG could. I think with this format, it means more lesser known teams, less household names go through. And that is great. That's for me, that is brilliant for the fans that might not necessarily understand football, that have never watched these teams. The more there's a chance of creating new rivalries. Like one of the weirdest rivalries in English football is Crystal Palace versus Brighton.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's the weirdest rivalry you've ever seen, but that rivalry did not exist until a playoff game where they both absolutely tore each other to shreds. And then suddenly, Crystal Palace versus Brighton became a massive thing. So the new Champions League format, it gives you a chance of having these new rivalries form. It's only brilliant, isn't it? I think every game, I disagree with Scott. I think every game is very meaningful. And I think there's a lot of fire in this tournament, isn't there, Dan?
I think so. Yeah, definitely. What you referring to the Europa or both of them? Both competitions.
European football in general.
Yeah, there's a conference like that as well.
Yes, the Conference League is like that as well. They're all like that.
Well,
I think there is an evolution of this system. I really like it. You could possibly say, oh, it's just a Super League. So be it. If this is the form of Super League they want to form, I'm happy about it because just every single team, you can play teams. We have played Karabakh before a long, long time ago. I think that was I think it was during Poch era we played, or maybe even Mourinho era we played Karabakh. But we haven't played Elfsborg. We didn't play Roma ever. We're playing teams we've never seen before come down a White Hart Lane, and that's great for education about football teams and about football clubs. Is this the Super League, Dan?
What, the Champions League version?
Yeah.
Well, maybe. It's probably the nearest they can do at the moment.
Yeah.
But look, it's exciting, isn't it? Like all them games last night, a lot going on. They made a massive thing, didn't they, about it? So I didn't catch any of it myself. I was working, but no, look, exciting to see what happens tonight. Surely we can beat Elfsborg. I know we're awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you look at our Europa League, we haven't played well throughout the tournament. But we haven't. We've got wins. We're in the top 8, and we should go through qualifying tonight, going into the last 16, isn't it? I think starting in March.
Yeah. It gives us a bit of a reprieve as well. If we can get into that elusive top 8, it gives us a bit. It means we play less games, which is only good just for the amount of injuries we got. I
haven't looked at the table. What is the highest we can finish tonight, and what is the lowest we can finish tonight?
I will tell you. I don't have the Europa League table to hand, but here we go.
How dare you? How dare you?
The highest if all the results go our way and all the teams above us lose, for example, we could finish first. That's if every team loses above us.
Which just ain't going to happen.
We have 14. We have 14 points, and no, I'm stupid. We can finish. We can finish second. Lazio are basically confirmed. We can finish second. If all the results go our way, we could finish second. Excuse me, I put my hands up. I was wrong. But yeah, we can, as long as we get through tonight, we just need to get I think we only need a point to solidify us in the top 8.
Okay.
James Flower disagrees with me. Well, you can come on and explain it to me then. Oh,
yeah,
Flower Power wants to leave. Flower Power. Well, he only wants to come on so he can talk to you about David Raya. Let's face it.
Do you know what? In all honesty, I had a very, very long conversation with James yesterday. I think it must have been about 40 minutes. And not once, and I do mean not once, did that man's name come up. Not once. I think James is finally getting over it. I think he's finally getting some help
he's
to get
not.
over his rare obsession, which is good.
Absolutely, they do. They do. Good to see you, Nige, as well. If you want to jump on as well, buddy, send me a message. I'll send you the link so you can join your partner in crime band. And it's good to have new faces on the channel. We're going to try and do that. Some of the corporates sponsoring the UCL may not agree with smaller clubs going through. Well, they're wrong, aren't they? They're just wrong. Football is about seeing more people. Mark Taylor, we haven't played well in any of the games. That is true. We haven't, have we, Dan? We haven't played well in a single game. Like Rangers, we were diabolical. We were diabolical against Rangers and Hoffenheim. I don't know what to say about that.
Guys, can you imagine last season?
The most memorable. Oh, sorry, Dan. Go on, you go, buddy.
Yeah, can you imagine? Last season we almost got that top 4, didn't we? I think it was like a few points. Can you imagine us in that Champions League this season?
Yeah, we'd get wrecked.
We would have got destroyed. We'd be bottom of that table.
Possibly. You don't know.
What I was about to say is, if anyone can, I would say, if anyone was to say what's been the most memorable part of this Europa League adventure, let's just say, I think 9 out of 10 would say Mikey Moore's second half performance against whoever it was. That was the most memorable thing to me, and the most the best part of it so far. Yeah. And I don't know what anyone else would say. What would be their best moment of the Europa League so far?
No, it's all been the worst moments.
It's so unmemorable, isn't it? I was
furious against Galatasaray and Rangers. Oh, I was so angry.
Actually, no, thank you for reminding me. That's memorable, not because of the game of football. That's because it's the first time I did a We Are Tottenham TV Tottenham watch-along. I did one for England, but that was the first ever time I did a watch-along.
Which match?
Galatasaray away with Brian. I did it with Brian and Johnny, and we were slaughtered because we were all so negative. And look where we've gone from there. Don't get me on, boys. Don't get me on again, because I would just be negative as always. We have a couple of comments. Cardiff versus Millwall was a rivalry, but that was just for fighting. Yes, it was. I think we were worse. My God, we were bad in that game. Spurs couldn't beat Power Rangers once they morphed. Go Power Rangers! Big up. Flower Power's in the house. He sees Daigle.
He's at the clock end again.
He's at the clock end.
I just thought I'd start this off with saying Raya out, to be honest. It seemed like it fit.
Mate, you know what? If you hadn't have said that, I would have put a bet on the bookies at the very first words that came out of your mouth. After not mentioning it once, I'm here thinking you've been treated and solved and cured, and you've taken it back, but you've fallen off the wagon. You've fallen off the wagon.
What do you expect? Big Vic is back in training. We are going to win the league now.
Oh, good God. Good God.
You're deluded.
you got, mate, listen. It's, well, the thing is as well, I don't know what people think. Van der Ven's rumoured to be available tonight and maybe start. I pray to God I want to see him on the bench.
Yeah.
Seeing him on the bench is a big enough lift, and bring him on with 20 minutes to go.
Yeah,
I mean, either way, we're through to the next round, regardless, through the playoff or league or getting in the top. For the long-term stability of our defence, take your goddamn time with him. Even give him minutes against Brentford on the bench. Both games on the bench, get some minutes. 10 minutes maybe tonight, 15, then up at Brentford, ready for Liverpool. Yeah. I hope we don't start him just for the sake of it.
I would not play Mickey van der Ven at all versus Liverpool, because again, that game is going to be so high paced. You can't put a player with scars.
That's why you got to drag it. That's why you got to give him minutes. That's why you've got to give him
5 minutes, 10 minutes in that game if you want to close the game out.
But Ben, he's going to play him at that against Liverpool. 100%, he's going to play him. You know what Ange's like.
Let's answer the question. How angry will you be if Ange Postecoglou starts Mickey van der Ven? We'll start with Flower Power. If he starts him tonight, how angry will you be?
I don't really know. It's not so, for me. It's not so much if he starts. For me, I'd probably rather him start because he's going to have a proper warm up. Because it's a half an hour warm up, a half an hour get ready for the game. I would like if he starts, it's off at half time. Like that's what I would. My ideal scenario is play him first half, take him off at half time, get the win, or be a goal or two up, and then take him off. Because if we're losing 1-0 and you bring him on, you know he's going to be pressed so high, and then we're going to be relying on his pace to get back.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Joe, what? It's amazing when he's not talking about goalkeepers. He can actually speak a lot of sense.
No, he can't. No, he can't.
No, I don't know. I think the only problem you got with that, James, is if we start him and the game's not going well at half time, you know what will happen.
Yeah.
You know what will happen. He'll say, right, we need you in the second half. Just do 10 minutes or so. I think if he comes on at all, is like 10 minutes. I do agree with you about the warm-up.
You say that, though. In fairness to him, and I'm giving Ange a bit of credit here, and I hate the geezer. He did take Richarlison off when we actually needed him. The week before, he did take Mikey Moore he took off? So he is taking these players off, even though we're like, we needed them on. So maybe, big maybe, he's learnt his lesson.
Yeah, well, you look at that, mate. All I'll say is Pape Matar.
I would love to sign this player. I'd love to sign Visser. I think he's great. Dan, how angry will you be if Ange Postecoglou starts Mickey van der Ven after being out for another 5 weeks?
Well, is he fit? He must be fit, mustn't he? You know, do you
but
trust
fitness
his
and
medical
match
department?
fitness are two very different things.
Yeah.
They're two very different things.
Well, this game, this team we're going to play tonight, they're going to play a dirty low block tonight.
Yeah,
you know, we're going to have all the ball, 80% possession, 70%, whatever, and it would just be him probably standing on the halfway line. I don't know much about this team, if they've got any pacey forwards, but it sounds like he's going to get minutes tonight. He's definitely going to have a part to play. Will he start? Will he come on? Who knows? But we do need to build some fitness up for him. It's great to see him back. We need him, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, for me, he's the most important player in the club. Like, there is no... He's the most important player in the club.
No, he's not.
Who is
No,
he?
he's not.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
James has gone a little bit.
I'm not having that. Vicario is the most important player in this club. I'm not shitting you. The amount of goals that we've let in that Vicario would have saved is a joke. Absolute joke. With Arsenal, if we had Vicario for Arsenal, in my opinion, we don't lose that game. He saves both of those.
What I can say to that, James, is if Van der Ven was there, maybe we wouldn't have even got to Vicario.
Well, Trossard's come from the right. Trossard's goal come from the right, so Vicario's on the left. And in my opinion, Vicario saves that goal. Van der Ven's on the left. Listen, you're not going to win this. This is just give up.
I do love our debate. I do love
me. This, whatever the system is called, I don't know what the hell this football system is called. I just call it terrible football. But the one thing you can say about this system is when Van der Ven is in that defensive line, we look a lot more assured because, again, they know no forward in Europe is outpacing that bloke. He is just a thoroughbred. He's a thoroughbred runner. No one's outpacing him. So, of course, it gives a bit of a stability. But this is just managing. This is doing your job as a football manager. And I said it on We Are Tottenham TV. He's not doing his job. This is when you have to manage your football team. Mickey van der Ven has had two lots of injuries, which means he's going to have 2 lots of scar tissue in his leg. What you've got to do is you've got to strengthen those muscles, not overexert him, and allow him to get fit at his own pace. When you're bringing back an incredibly important cog in your wheel, shoving them straight in whilst the rest of the thing is still moving, it's just going to break. It's just going to break again. So he's got to only play him for 10, 15 minutes. The season is on a thread here. What's your? I don't know if I'm speaking facts here, Daigle, but I think it's common sense, isn't it?
Sorry, you're going to have to repeat what you said, but just summarize it because I was literally just...
Basically, Mickey van der Ven needs to be nursed back into... Because our season is hanging at a thread. And if we can get him in, at least you've got one of your big players back.
It's like when I had my little full on nuclear rants on We Are Tottenham TV on Sunday after I got home from the Leicester game. We have to, all these people have got to stop it. When they say we get our players back, everything will be all right. People keep thinking that they're just going to come back at full fitness, top form, ready and raring to go and be indestructible for the rest of the season. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
When these players come back, you have to look at it, in my opinion, do you look at it that you rush them all back and go, off you go, we need you, get the good results going? Or do you say, right, I know how badly I need you for this game, but I need you for the long term, more importantly, and we're gradually going to phase you in. Like there's some players that recovery is quicker and they can go longer. Harry
Kane was one of those because of the blood spinning he did. He was one of those because of his blood spinning technique he was using to get that. He was able to do that. But defenders, you need to run, especially in this system, you need to run a lot more than the forwards do. And that's just the way, but that mostly because we're so exposed because of the way we play football. They have to run.
Can Van der Ven do this anymore? I don't think he can, this running back all the time. I just don't think he can. It's not fair on him, is it? You know, some people are saying that he's done. He's finished now because of all these injuries, but we'll see. We will see.
But yeah, we do have a bit of transfer news, and it's from yesterday. But of course,
how can you keep a straight face when you say that?
It's not transfer bingo, but unfortunately, Aston Villa have already stepped in front of us in this race, and it is, of course, looking at Matthias Tell from Bayern München. And it looked like Johan Lang was actually in attendance at Bayern Munich last night. He was actually there. According to Fabrizio Romano and a few other sources. Aston Villa look like they're going to sign this guy, don't they? We'll start with Flower Power. It just makes sense for Aston Villa to sign this guy. After with John Duran going to Saudi for 75 million, that's a very smart... If they can get him in for 50, 60, that's their Ollie Watkins replacement ready to go in a few years, isn't it?
Well, why has he gone there? Why has he gone over to...
Money. It's so funny.
20 years old, isn't he?
In a rich man's world. It's
crazy. What a waste. Waste of a player.
Yeah, 21 years paid.
I actually think he's doing it probably the right way. Go over there. He's 20 to 23. Come back, and then if you want to hit the heights, you can hit the heights. At the end of the day, if I'm him and I'm that young and that sort of money gets offered to me, I'm taking it because he isn't settled yet for the future just yet. Whereas a lot of these people that are at the over the hill, they're the ones that are going there for the money to the final. So for him, if he has a bad injury, he could be dropped by Villa. Not like, it could be a downhill thing quite quickly. So I don't blame him. I actually see, it is what it is. But with the young lad from Bayern Munich, mate, he looks like such a good player.
Yeah.
Great on the ball. For once, it'd be good to have a player that looks like they want to beat their man. And that's the one thing I've seen of him. Because I've seen a lot of people slate him for his stats. But every time he plays behind Harry Kane. And Harry Kane drops deep. And really, he needs to be out on left wing. But they play, obviously, Coman and Gnabry. Like, they're so well stacked in those areas.
They've got some ridiculous...
Yeah.
They are really...
So for me, I mean, wishful thinking, I would absolutely love him. I think that's the kind of kid that I would like us to sign. Yeah. But I don't think it's going to happen.
What's your thoughts, Dan, of the Matthias Tell?
There's the information is he's in Germany, isn't he, Lange? There's 7 clubs in for him. There's a loan offer on the table and an actual bid. They're trying to sign him
for £60 million along those lines.
I find it... I just don't. I'm thinking, why would he choose us now? You know, unless it's the money. That I find it hard to believe that it will go through. It's just one of those, isn't it? Which is going to be a big letdown. When's the window close? Monday, is it?
Yeah. Window closes on Saturday.
No, it's Monday.
Monday at 11 p.m.
Yeah, they're not allowed to. You weren't used to be. No, they're not allowed to shut it over a weekend anymore because businesses are shut. So, for example, finalising deals, if they use an ex-party company and they're off on the weekend, they've moved it to the Monday, so it gives them time to.
The transfer window ends on the 3rd of February.
Yep,
Yeah.
but this will be Levy's excuse. It'll be we can't sign players in February. It's a January transfer window. I don't want to break any
Yeah.
laws. I don't want to. It's going outside of the month. It was a January window. It's now February. Listen, what I will say with the Johan Tell that or whatever is first, Mateus Tell. The only thing that makes me think we stand a chance in this race, and I don't think we get him, is obviously Bayern Munich owe us money for Kane.
Yeah.
So whatever the valuation is, Spurs have got money in the game, or skin in the game, as they say, because they can do that. Listen, you owe us, I don't know, people are saying 30 million, some people are saying a bit more, but Spurs can now say, listen, we'll take him, and you don't need to pay us. This is what I wanted all summer, Kavinsky.
Gyökeres is never coming to Tottenham, no. It's all
mate,
like, Strip Bearer's right. Tell is not coming to Tottenham when they're Chelsea in the game, Villa in the game, and other Champions League teams.
This is the thing. This is the thing. We have to. If you look at it, he is a player, a youngster that has got a lot of potential, and he's a player where there's a lot. Joe, even this player is splitting opinions on. Yeah, he's amazing, or no, he's not worth 5 million, let alone 50. But the only chance
that's the thing about age, isn't it, though, Brian? When you're buying young players, you're not paying for quality. You're paying for potential and a potential sell-on fee. That's what you're doing with young players. That's why Brennan Johnson that's why Brennan Johnson paid 47 million for him instead of the 34 million that Brentford wanted. Well, firstly, that's Ange Postecoglou not being able to scout a player for his system properly. You pay for potential. You don't. If you're buying a Harry Kane, that's when you're paying for quality because you're paying for money on the table. You know he's going to give you 3 years and he's going to be awesome. When you're buying a 19-year-old, it's prediction. What's that? You've got to speculate.
It's a gamble, isn't it? It's a gamble.
Yeah.
And you've got to look, the other thing you've got to remember is you said that apparently Lang was there.
Yeah.
I can also confirm that Hitchin was in Milan.
Yeah,
for Skriniar. It means it's all. Oh, it looks like Spurs are being busy. Oh, but when the director of football's got out there, or the director of nothingness has got out, and it looks like Spurs are trying to do something, and it's got at least we tried written all over it.
If they were serious about this guy, they would have got him early January. Do you know what I mean? This is just
that's what I'm going to say. If this was your guy, firstly, there would have been room. Johnny said this, and I do believe what Johnny said, because he knows people in the football game. I don't know why people don't listen to Johnny. He does understand. We were after Tell in the summer. We were when the Harry Kane deal was going through the final stages. There was a possible chance that they were going to send him the other way, so Bayern could reduce that transfer fee, and it never happened. This is a player we have looked at pre-Johan Lang, because I don't think Johan Lang was really in charge at the time. I'd have to look. I'd have to look to see who was in charge. This is if this was their guy. Why did they not sign him? Anyone jump in? Why did they not sign him if this was their guy? If this was the guy they're interested in?
It could be. I mean, again, just sort of like playing devil's advocate. It could be he was 50-50 whether he wanted to leave or not. Hasn't played much. It's got to the end of the window and they said, look, you're not going to be playing as much as you think. And from what I've read and heard, one of the reasons that Tottenham is an option is because he's guaranteed minutes. At United, if they don't sell Rashford,
I'm going to push back on that because we know our manager now. Our manager does not play youth players unless he has to. We saw that with Gray. I
think he's. I agree. But we're talking of.
Where's he going to play? We're talking of our team.
Either wing. We're talking of a player that's established at Champions League level. In fairness to Archie Gray, he did 20 games at right back, and that's not knocking him because I think there's a good player in there. You're talking of some. But you're talking of somebody
there's a real gem of a footballer in there. But
so do I. But you are talking of somebody that's
footballers. You have to play them, and you've got to play them in a position where it allows them to grow as a footballer. and we're not growing our footballers. So if I am Matthias Tell, a young player playing for Bayern Munich at the moment, I want to be at a team where I'm firstly guaranteed minutes, but in my correct position where I want to play. And his agent is going to be speaking to him saying, listen here, the Spurs manager plays players out of position for fun. He does it. He plays almost every player. Porro, a wing back, playing him in midfield. He's playing Gray, a midfielder at left back or centre back. He's playing this player here. He's playing that. Surely he's going to want some stability, Flower Power. When he does move to the team, he's going to want some stability.
But I dare say that's in the contract. He's not stupid. I think that'd be in a contract.
My social media today has been going mad because buzzword bingo has got into overdrive, and good old Kettyberg has just entered a new one 25 minutes ago.
Oh, I've got the picture for this, Brian. I've got the picture. Thank you for doing it. You mean?
But 1 second, let me read it.
Petty little liar.
So, understand Tottenham have started negotiations with FC Bayern over a move for Matthias Tau. Still, anything possible, loan or permanent deal. Talks are ongoing with other clubs. Blah 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 blah. We're on, mate. I've actually done a tweet today saying let's start using bingo buzzwords and phrases, excuses to get out of something. And some of the comments I've had, I'm thinking of splitting it up. I've told my girl I'm not ready to finish it with her yet. I'm just exploring. I'm monitoring the situation of others. I've had reasons to get out or what, mate. We are going to go into overdrive on this. Listen, I don't think he touches Tottenham. I just don't.
It's not the right move for him, is it? It's not the right move for him. When you can go to a Chelsea, when you can go to a Villa, and mostly because Ollie Watkins, I don't think Ollie Watkins is going to move this window, but I think he will certainly move in the summer.
He's a Duran. He's a Duran replacement. He's not a Watkins replacement. But isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing that Arsenal are going in and trying to take out players, not just from rivals, but their starting players.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time we went to a Premier League club and went for a starting player, like at one of the big guns, and said, right, we're bigger than you. We got more money than you. Guess what? We're taking him. If anyone can remember, and you can't use Maddison because he was a Championship player at the time.
It never has happened.
I can't remember. Bissouma was in the last year of his contract. So maybe you could say Bissouma, but I can't remember the last time we just went in and said, without being in the last year of his contract, and just said, do you know what? We need him. We want him. The manager wants him. We have the money to do this. We're taking him. Because I can't remember anyone. If anyone can put it in, if anyone can actually remember the last time we literally went to a top club and took one of their top starters, apart from Bissouma last year of his contract, let me know or let us know.
Well, the last time we did that, I don't know. He's just disappeared. You know what? It's like firstly because Kuva's saying I'll play this if this is their guy. Why didn't we sign him? It's because Mars is in ascendancy and neither Jupiter nor Saturn are aligned. Also, we're too cheap. The reason Flower Power disappeared just as quickly. I've got a video for this. Here we go. He left quicker than that. Any excuse to play that. Any excuse.
There you go. Paul van der Beek. Paul van der Beek is going back as far as Jukebox Jury. Big up, Mickey Hunt.
Hello, my lovely. Hello, my
Jury. Jukebox Jury. There's got to have been a player since Jukebox, surely.
The last player we signed was Jurgen Klinsmann.
No. The last player we took from a Premier League team that was one of their stars. And I mean one of their stars.
Do you like Ginola?
Okay, Ginola, yeah. Ginola could be. But I think they wanted him out anyway, didn't they? But no, Ginola is certainly a more recent than
Klinsmann.
Jukebox Jury. I'm just honestly, the fact that people can't put in the comments, like Gaza's been mentioned, but there's been people since Gaza, but Defoe's a good shout from Rumi. Defoe's a very good shout from Rumi. Did it?
That was from Portsmouth. That was from Portsmouth.
And from West Ham. And from West Ham.
And from West Ham as well, yeah.
Either way
Indeed.
you look at it.
Indeed. Good afternoon, geez, what was that? Cheap Ass FC, Gaza, Ginola.
Mate,
Yes.
okay, so Defoe was
Long time
2004.
ago.
Ferdinand, Les Ferdinand from Newcastle.
Yeah,
but
that's a shout.
no, but thingy was sooner. Was Defoe? No, you're right. Okay, any advance? Big up, audio. Any
You mean
advance on
Brennan
Adebayor?
Johnson doesn't count?
And
Good
actually,
to
you
see
look.
him.
No, wait a minute. You got to take
Has to
Adebayor
be.
out. You got to take as a good shout, but Adebayor, they wanted him out,
Yeah.
and we didn't go to Man City and go right. Man City, obviously, we couldn't say you're rich. We're richer. Darren Bent in the Championship. With Charlton down when we took him.
we relegated them, didn't we?
That's right.
Parker. What about Scott Parker?
Firstly, this is brilliant. As comparing Ange to Diego Simeone, you can compare two more different styles of football if you tried.
Mate, singularities put Teddy Sheringham.
He's back. He's back. He's back.
Sorry, work.
Yeah.
Carrick's another one. So Les Ferdinand.
What about Scotty Parker, guys? Scotty Parker.
Scott Parker is another one. Scott Parker.
I can see the Reptile keeper has said Soldado, but he weren't Premier League Reptile. He was a top player from Valencia, but I'm talking Premier League, like Arsenal try to do with Ollie Watkins. Very
so many things.
No, Ethan's won it. Ethan has won it.
Richarlison.
Ethan has won it. Whether you like it or not, that was the lot, mate. That's a good shout. Well, I mean, they did have to let go because they needed fight, but that's probably. I mean, look at the list of players we're talking about here and the spaces between them. Mickey, you keep up to date. It's 108. It's 108. You're 6 short. You put in a Levy offer.
Crouchy's another one. Crouchy. Good to see you, man. Robbie Keane. I wouldn't say he was a star for Liverpool. Mr. Watkins.
No, but he was a star for Leeds. But again, Leeds had to sell at that time, didn't they? It was like that was during their fire sale. Oh, wait a minute.
Right,
wait a minute.
Solanke. Ryan McFarlane's won it. Solanke.
I don't know what we're talking about. Top
how
players
bad it
here
is.
we're talking
That's
about.
how bad it is. You can't even remember a player that we bought this season. That's how bad it is. We're talking
about top players here, guys, or just average players?
Quick reminder, 107 of you in the chat. We are 90 people away from that elusive 1,000 subscribers. If you've never subscribed here before and you're just joining here, please subscribe to the channel. It would be an amazing privilege to be able to get to 1,000 subscribers. We've been working really hard recently and we really want to try and get there. Big up to everyone here, but let's get that number to 1,000. I'm banging the drum.
Yep, and I have to say, Ange Scott, when we're talking nostalgia, Ange Smith is just the one with the comment below that. Scotty Park, I wish we'd got him sooner. He's another player we were linked with every time he moved. My God, when he came in, there were a couple of games where we were playing such
Liverpool away from home when he came off with blood.
The QPR game where Gareth Bale and Van der Vaart tore him apart. Yeah. Scotty Parker was a midfielder that dictated the tempo, everything of the game was dictated by Parker. Parker in this
brought
team.
him in straight away, didn't he? He brought him in.
He brought him in and made him captain immediately. That's how much. That's Scott Parker.
That was a leader.
That's what I really, really want in this team. Bring in a captain. We need a captain now because as much as I loved Son and as much as I really wanted him to be captain, he's not taken to this role well at all. He is flower power.
He's absolutely crap.
Back one sec.
He has not taken up the leadership mantle at all. I think with him firstly being the captain and having the stress of being the captain, as well as him playing completely and utterly out of position, I think it has stolen all the it's like Space Jam. The aliens stole all. Son in 2 years has lost all his talent. He was already starting to slow down, but it was one.
I don't think that's true.
I think he's lost all of his finishing ability. He's not able to finish anymore.
The other day, the crying after we lost. The captains don't cry.
Yeah,
do they? That was too much.
For me, I disagree. Listen, Son. I'll start this with Son. For me, is one of the best players I've ever seen at Tottenham. He is one of the best players I've ever seen. There's no question about it. But I'm not saying that he's one of the best. Oh, actually, it's hard for me. I think he's a one or two trick pony. Once you take those tricks away, the pony's finished. And I liken that to Kane. Kane could pass, could tackle, could work hard, could finish, could win the ball in the air, hold up play, whereas Son is in behind finishing. And when you've got the best in the world, and it's proven for me now that Harry Kane is the best striker, number 9, number 10 in the world, provided him with that week in, week out, it makes his job easier. For me, Son isn't where he should be. He's not good enough anymore. But
this is a really good question from Andrew Gregory.
Is he better than Brian Hill?
Oh, James? Is he
at the moment, no. At the moment, no, he ain't.
Dan, is Son Heung-min better than Brian Hill?
Yes, he is.
Brian.
Well, at the moment, at the moment, I do Brian Hill for Son at the moment.
I can't even answer that. Right, if we're talking about right here, right now, and numbers being put out, I haven't got a clue about how Hill was doing. I know he started off very, very brightly. If we're talking about, if we're being serious, listen, it's a no. But right here, right now, I can't answer the question fairly.
Yeah, but no one's playing well in this team, guys. Nobody.
Exactly.
So you can join and add Son to the list.
I think Bergvall is.
Crossamano's just hit the nail on the head, as he always does.
He would have.
He would have. I don't know if
the year of the Golden Boot, he would have sold him.
I don't know if people have watched that Alex Ferguson documentary on BBC. I watched it on iPlayer the other day. Just listening how the players talk about him and what they feared and what they loved about, mate. He just got it, didn't he? The Apstam, Ruud van Nistelrooy, David Beckham, every single time he'd make a statement and go, right, when they sold Kuncevski, Ince, and what was the fucking Russian guy's name that they had? The winger. Andre, there you go, Kuncevskis. He was just like, right, that's it. Off we go. Time to leave. Off you go. Oh, and Lee Sharp. Paul Ince, Mark Hughes. Was just like off you go.
Ruud van Nistelrooy, as soon as he saw that he had Wayne Rooney coming through, he got rid of him. He couldn't get rid of Ruud van Nistelrooy quicker.
Mate.
That's the difference between a top manager and a good manager. Knowing when you need to refresh and getting rid of the players that start to get. Maybe Sonny is a bit too comfortable.
Can I disagree with that? Well, not disagree, but play devil's advocate to that.
Sure.
We've been asking for these players to be kicked out for a long time, and Levy hasn't sold them. So I don't necessarily think this is all on, i.e. the manager, because we've been trying to get rid of all these players for a long time, and it's not just Son, it's been everybody. So I think the owner has got the biggest cash cow in the game, and that's where he's at.
Want rid of it. That's why I would expect for Son, even though there are rumours at the moment, that Sonny has told a lot of his people around him that he's leaving this year. A lot of rumours are now swiveling about that.
I got told at the beginning of the season that he was well unhappy because Tottenham promised him a new contract, and then now they said no, they're going to extend it for 1 year without even giving him anything, and that was at the beginning of the contract, beginning of the season.
I still see Tottenham giving him 400 grand a week and saying, you know what, stay here. What do you see, Brian? Do you reckon that Levy will sell the Golden Goose?
No.
Do you see him offering him a bumper deal?
Listen, what people got to realise as well, when it comes to...
That's one for the chat as well. Do you think, guys, will Levy offer Sonny a bumper contract after this season?
No.
What you have to remember is, first of all, hopefully, in my alternate universe, by the time Son's contract's gone, Levy's gone. So I'm hoping and praying, but obviously that's a very far-fetched dream in some kind of parallel universe. If people think that we are being tight right now with money like we always do at the transfer when we got loads of money. Once Sonny leaves, this club takes a massive hit financially. Massive.
Ooh, I disagree. Nick, I love you, mate. I love you, mate. Pulisic is not selling 10% of the shirts that Sonny sells.
Not a chance.
Not a chance. What's the population of South Korea? I need to look at the population of South Korea. I was like,
and it's not just that. South Korea have got nothing, have they? Whereas America has American football, ice hockey, basketball. Korea have Swimming Sun, and that's it.
South Korea does have baseball. They have baseball and they have other American sports. But football Sonny is their biggest sportsman asset. They do have that, but
not the same though.
Not the same, but that Sonny is he's a global institution for South Korea. Just like my other favorite type of music, K-pop. K-pop is enormous, and he has that sort of that stan fandom that K-pop groups have. They just follow him till the end. And I think Pulisic is actually a really decent player, but he didn't do well in the Premier League. He's not selling Sonny t-shirts. Never.
Can I? I mean, I know this is probably gonna come across wrong, but I genuinely, there's no harm in what I'm about to say. I don't mean it like this, but I would really like to see Son go because I think most of his fans would leave. And I'm not being horrible in that respect, but I think Tottenham Hotspur goes up by 5 notches, that stadium, without the Koreans there. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's just our football mentality is to sing and cheer your team on. Their sort of stardom is like, can I take photos? Let me video record him. And it's like, I don't know how to put it the right way, but when I was there, I was talking to him.
What you're saying is that you're talking about fan tourism, basically.
Yeah.
Almost like Al Nassr with Cristiano Ronaldo. No one goes to watch Al Nassr because they want to see Al Nassr play, do they?
No.
No one wants to see Al Nassr. They go there to see Cristiano. But there is a lot of South Koreans will stay with Tottenham, and that is one of the things I do love.
Yeah, they will.
Korean culture is they do genuinely stick with a team, and with Yang coming through the ranks as well, I think Yang will be a success. From what I've seen, I think he's got loads of quality. I think Yang will be Son's successor, and I do think there is potential. I do agree with you with fan tourism. I do agree with you.
I was talking to a guy next to me at Ipswich, and I said, he said, why is everybody singing? And is it like the culture? And I said, yeah. I said, do you not do that? He said, no, we're here for Sonny, so we just take photos and record Sonny. So again, that's nothing personal against anybody, but I would love to get the volume up a little bit, and I think sometimes the Koreans are prepared to spend whatever money they have to go and see their idol. And listen, if I was in America and Messi was playing him in the Miami Stadium, I'd pay whatever I needed to go and watch Messi again. Like I would do that. So it's hypocritical, but yeah. That's my opinion. I'd like to see it from.
Can I just add to that?
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was about to say. That's exactly what I was just about to mention. What Lee just said, and big up to Lee. I hope you're good, buddy. He is the darling of Asia, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Yeah. You get a player. Listen, there's players from not big footballing nations. Obviously, Asia is getting huge. Where a star like that comes, and he attracts major global interest. But from that continent, I'm damn proud of him. He is like Shearer is to Newcastle. He is to Asia. The whole of it. He is. They've done it before with players. I remember when I lived in Israel. When Tel Ben Hayim went to Bolton, every single Bolton Premier League game went from being on satellite TV to terrestrial TV. It's what happens when these small nation or smaller footballing nations get a player into the Premier League. The whole of that continent, and rightfully so. So, have huge interest in that team, and it's the way of football now. Like we know for a fact how many people that love Jose Mourinho and follow Jose everywhere he goes. We had it with Mourinho. Yeah. There were so many people that said, "I just follow Mourinho." We have to remember that football is supported in many different ways in different places now, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
The moment Vicario leaves,
that is the death of the modern game, isn't it?
the moment Vicario leaves, I'm out of here. So come on, mate, leave. I'm out of here. Just leave.
Yeah. That is the death of football being going from the working class game to the sort of the posh person's game, because people can afford to move across different clubs, whereas with football being the working man's game, you support your local community, so you support your local team. So this is why football needs to go back to being local pride, local people, local businesses. That is sort of the death of football, isn't it? That I can afford to fly across. I can now. The only people that can afford to go to football are people with a bit of dosh, so they will fly across the world just to go and see one game, and they won't. It's a. What's your thoughts on this, man? What's your thoughts on this?
Oh, I lost track now. What was it? What was the point again?
Just everything we've been talking about.
What about the global fans and
Yeah,
Sonny? I think what Ben said about, Yang's going to be the replacement of, Son long term. Keep that fan base buying the shirts and supporting from abroad. Yeah, look, it's just this Premier League times now. It's just so different now, isn't it? And it's just changed so much. It's just all about money, shirt sales, whatever. I don't know. I don't pay look too much into that sort of stuff. But good points made by everyone.
Ryan, that's the bingo word of the day, is we have probed for Fiaku Tamori. And Brian is very happy about that.
Oh, mate,
do we think that...
Mate, I get tagged so many times. It's like, it's insane. It's insane. I've been tagged. Big up. Yep, we've been probing. We're pushing
today, Brian. It was pushing.
Oh,
Ben, you said about Yang taking Son's place.
Yes.
Do you actually believe that, and not Mikey Moore?
I hope it's Mikey Moore, but I don't. Being that Mikey Moore is an English player, we've seen that with Harry Kane, haven't we? Harry Kane is not as marketable as Kylian Mbappe, for example. And if you tell me what footballer are you having?
But is he going to play over?
Or Harry Kane? I'm taking Harry Kane every single day over Kylian Mbappe. But the sponsors.
So am I.
But sponsors will go for Kylian Mbappe because he's quick, he's lightning, he's got a bit of nastiness, he's got a bit of je ne sais quoi, as they say.
Vavavoom.
Vavavoom. That's just the way it is. I think English players are not as marketable as a lot of the European players. I don't know if that's because of.
But if he's not getting into the team, is he? How marketable is he if he's not in the team?
I don't know, but Dan has to jump, unfortunately, because he was only going to come on for an hour. But Dan, what's your final thoughts before you jump? And if one of my mods can put in Dan's link, that would be greatly appreciated.
Oh, cheers, Ben. Cheers. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Look, final thoughts. Just we've got to get a win tonight. It won't be pretty, probably be by the odd goal, but that's fine. Get into the next round, get that out of the way. We don't want that playoff game, so. Fingers crossed we get a win. It's desperate times. Something, isn't it, really? So, yeah, that's it, really. Just get the win tonight, Spurs, and we move on to Sunday.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am putting the link for the Spurs Danalist. Go and subscribe to Dan if you haven't. There's 120 of you in here. Dan is 30 people away from 600. So if you can get him to 600, that would be really, really good. Let's all support our fellow Spurs YouTubers.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
And everybody, subscribe to Ben as well if you haven't already. Big up Brian. Big up James.
Big up, brother.
I'll catch you guys later. Big up to everyone in the chat. Take care.
See you later, Dan. Cheers, mate.
Bye-bye. Cheers.
Yeah. So he's... he brought it out. We do have a game tonight, and that is against Elfsborg, and that is in the title. So maybe we should have spoken about that. But that is the beauty of the Kauffie Company. Still, we can talk about any shit we want.
Exactly.
How do you see this game going tonight, Flower Power? What do you see?
Is Vicario starting?
No.
All right.
Let it go.
I'm
Let it
gonna.
go.
Let it go.
No, fuck that. I like I said earlier, I'm going for a 4-0 win.
Okay.
So Elfsborg.
No, to Tottenham. There's a couple of reasons. One, I think they're rubbish. And two, every time this sort of movement with Ange out sort of gets to that point where we say there is no return, he seems to scrape a big win. Southampton, we've kind of gone to that point. So I think today he'll get something like a 4-0 win.
Daigle, what's your thoughts on the game tonight?
Couldn't give a fuck what happens on the pitch. All I care about is off the pitch. Mate, we're through. I don't care. All that matters is I know today is listen, like I said, I all I'm concerned about right now is we're through, is the movement that is currently happening, getting more traction. So I know there's plans for tonight, but obviously tonight's a bit more difficult because you don't know how many people are actually going to attend. There might be a lot of people that don't want to go. It could be today is a day where the tickets are cheaper. There could be loads of family. I just want the songs to be sung and everything to go. I just, we're through to the next round. I just couldn't care less. Just don't get any more injuries. And Spurs fans do what needs to be done. That's it.
Nick is saying if we lose tonight, we have zero chance of going forward. Let's talk about the whole Ange Postecoglou situation. I know that's what people want. Kuva was brilliant last night on the Free Spurs Boys talking about this. Just let it burn to the ground. I liked Kuva's tinfoil hat as well. I think it was really, really good. If we lose tonight, Flower Power, it's a disaster, isn't it? This manager, there is no excuse. You can't wait.
Yeah. For me, I'm now.
We're both part of the crowd anyway. We've been a part of that crowd for a long time. You've been a part of it since Ipswich, and I was there before that. What do you see?
I've changed my mind, and I'm now Ange in. I know that I am now Ange in. Genuinely, hand on my heart, I want him to stay as long as possible because he's finally doing what I wanted Conte to do. Conte started it, Jose started it, but for me, he's turning the whole fan base against Levy. So I am prepared to have this guy for the rest of the season. If it means that this Levy out movement, the change for Spurs, us guys just get bigger, bigger, bigger and bigger. And I know people can go, you're not a real Spurs fan. You potentially want us to lose. You want this. I'm going to be a Spurs fan next season. I'm going to be a Spurs fan the season after that and the season after that until I'm dead at 60. I don't know how long I'll last. So, and then not just that, my son's a Spurs fan who's 11 and I want him to be a Spurs fan until he dies at 160. So this one season, I believe, would do so much damage. I feel like we're a one-man wrecking train at the minute. And if it means putting up with this to the end of the season to potentially 10% chance, 5% chance to get Levy out or Levy change, whatever. I don't think he can change, but if we stick on this, I'm going to say I'm Ange in and see where this train takes us.
Great stuff. Great stuff. And Kuva is saying, exactly, you beautiful, flowery bastard. Let it burn. Let it burn. Big up, Keeves. Scott Evans, of course, saying, what did Ange say? I don't listen to a single word that guy says, to be honest. What do you guys think of Kulusevski's remarks on the ownership?
All I care about is Kulusevski. That, mate, yeah. Legendary.
The KDL is on the march.
Well, now that's about 5 or 6 players in the starting squad that have all said the same. This has to be hitting home a little bit for Lee. Like, I mean, he says he doesn't listen. I'm sorry, but when your employees are saying, "Listen, boss, you're shit," it's gonna be kind of okay. This is why. Also, again, this is why I'm saying I wouldn't be too fussed if we signed no one. I actually wouldn't, because again, I think it's another notch on the Levy out train. So
you're right.
And I mean, look, what Scott M said there, us fans don't want change. I'm sorry, mate. You've just contradicted yourself. You just said you wanted Ange out. So you want change as a football club, but you're okay to sack the 15th, 16th, 17th manager and go around again and around again and around again. We need to try something new. Listen, keep this guy in. This guy is destroying the building from inside out, in my opinion.
Yep.
He's that bad, isn't he? He's making Levy look even worse. He's dragging everyone down with him. He's dragging them down. And everyone knows what I feel. I really dislike this football manager. And that's because I'm a season ticket holder and I have to watch this shit every single week. I'd happily get rid of him.
I feel for you and
it's fun.
People that go every week. I really feel sorry for you.
It's funny seeing Levy sweat. It's funny because he might actually have to do something eventually.
It's not fair though, is it? Like again, this is where I feel so sorry for people that go every week because it's such a shame. It's like I just feel you. Not only are you going every week, you've got to pay travel. It's fucking freezing. Your time. Like I could have gone tonight, but I couldn't get there and get home. It would have taken me sort of 8 hours traveling to get there and get back. And I don't think they realise that. So 8 hours plus finishing work early. There's a lot that goes into it. And I'm not here saying, oh, poor me, because there's people that travel a lot longer than me and they spend a lot more money than me and they have season tickets they have to pay for. If you break it down, like I actually feel sorry for the Spurs fans of season tickets because this isn't fair. It's actually not fair.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I totally agree with you, James. I totally agree with you.
Unless you're a Ryan lover, then you can fuck off. You deserve it.
No, listen, what people got to remember as well is people are talking, obviously, and I will keep referring it to Daniel Levy whenever he moves his lips. He's lying. He says that this stuff doesn't get to him. Yeah, he turns the sound systems up. He's now putting extra security by the gangway where the batters were released to make sure they don't come out. Everything is getting to him, whether he likes it. He's trying to play the big man. If it doesn't, I'll put the question out, not that it will get to him, but I tell you what, seeing that Levy, this doesn't affect him, I've got an idea. Why don't you call up another AGM and allow people like us three, Stell, and other and all the others.
That'd be a funny stream. Stream it. Flower Power has to. James has to jump, Brian. So we're going to let James go, and then we can do something you've never done before, Brian, and talk about Levy out. You've never.
Okay, I can do that, and also I might play the song that I made up. Actually, should I play it now while James is here? Because I don't think I sent it to James.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to play it via voice note because I'll fuck up the words.
You love a voice note, don't you? You love a voice note.
People know me. I love it. Okay, let me know if you can. Where is it? Can you hear it?
Yeah.
24 years just waiting for a chance to tell him to fuck off and never take a second chance. It's been 24 years and it's time to get rid of Levy. Levy? Who the fuck is Levy?
That's my new song.
You don't want to be up. You don't want to be playing. You keep playing that, you'll be signed up for a gig.
mate, that is my new song, but I need to change it from Levy, who the fuck is Levy, to Levy, get the fuck out, Levy. So I'm going to start trying to get that one going. That's my new song for him.
Flower Power, thank you so much for coming on the show as always, James. Always helps.
Thank you for having me.
Have you got anything you want to promote?
No, if people ain't subbing to this show, then they're fucking idiots. If you're in the chat and you're not subbing and liking, you're an idiot. This is the only channel where we can go from talking about Raya to Levy to Disney to food to drink. So if you're not subbing, I'm sorry, but you're an idiot. So come on, man, help the guy out. Help the guy out.
Help the guy out. It's 122.
And as always, Raya out.
Mate, Barbaric, you must be able to read. Mate, I would gladly give you my telephone number to talk to you some more. So if you follow me on social media anywhere, send me that or send me an email, and I will definitely keep. I love this guy. I would love to get in contact with this guy. So if you follow me on social media, just send me a message, and I'll gladly exchange numbers with you. But I'm going to work on that song. I'm thinking about putting it on Twitter and seeing how much traction it gets. But and do you know what it is? I literally, this is how bad I am when it comes to Leave You Out. So I used to for years before when I was protesting after I said goodnight to Alana, before I shut my eyes, I used to say Leave You Out. And then when I woke up in the morning, the first thing I used to say, the very first words I said was Leave You Out. But I stopped, and literally it's got so bad that I was watching, if anyone's watched the UK programme back home, the Gold, whatever, where they talk about the big gold robbery, I was just literally woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and in the show, there were two people doing karaoke to Alice, who the fuck is Alice? And straight away I thought, 24 years, there's something in that. My brain doesn't stop. It just hears something, and somehow I can
Leave You Out.
Mate, just instantly. I don't know how my brain... When it comes to that, my brain is just tuned in a different way to people. So I'm going to have to find a way. I might tweet that song, because to hear that song would be absolutely awesome.
But brilliant.
24 years just waiting for a chance to get him the fuck out and never take a second glance. It's been 24 years and we're trying to get rid of Levy. Levy, get the fuck out, Levy. Everyone, mate, that's it. That's it.
That's a tune and a half. It's a tune and a half.
Ryan McFarlane, if you think you've got to... if Bobby K is in this room right now, if Bobby K is still here, Bobby will tell you whenever his name comes up on whenever his face comes up on the Scotland Yard, the Tourette's that comes out of me is, and people just piss themselves. I'm actually back home, people. I'm actually thinking of Lee. Feel free to, buddy. Feel free to. Mate, literally. Remember that? I'm actually going to bring out. The people back home will remember this album collection. I'm going to bring out my own album called that. Now that's what I call Hating Levy.
That's what I call Levy Out. I like it.
That's what I call Hating Levy.
But I think that's all she wrote. Thank you to the Danalist, to Mr. Shalom Avi, Shalom Avi.
Shalom Manishma.
Manishma. But we are. I don't think we've gained any subs this show. But if you're not
waiting for a check. Everyone, click it up.
We've gone up by 2 subs. We are now 88.
That's because of my singing.
Yeah,
that's because of my singing.
We are 88 subscribers away from 1,000. So if you've never subscribed to this channel before, please subscribe. It helps us out a lot. But I think that is all we wrote. Daigle, we've got a video coming out tomorrow, don't we?
Yes, we have. I am going to do tomorrow. Every Friday, we're trying to bring out content. Either recorded tonight or recorded tomorrow before 5 p.m. I will be doing a pre-record, just evaluating everything where we are, and that will go out at 5 p.m. It's 5 p.m. UK time we've been doing, is it? Or 6? No, 5 p.m. we released it, wasn't it? 5 p.m. It will be 5 p.m. tomorrow. There will be some pre-recorded content. Bobby is here. Just tell people what happens when Levy comes up on the screen at the Scotland Yard. He's probably going to put a sarcastic comment, but yes, there will be some content tomorrow from Tottenham on tour, and maybe I'll do something. I'm thinking I might do something Saturday, or we might do something Saturday. But I'm going to put my my new Levy Out tune on Twitter. So if anyone is on Twitter and follows me, keep an eye on it, because 24 years of Levy is going to be the brand new hit.
Absolutely. But thank you all so much for watching today's show. We had a load of people in here today. We had a really good chat today. Thank you to all the new subscribers of the Kauffie Company. Go and subscribe to our other channel, Tottenham on Tour, the world famous home of Levy Out. Thank you all so much for watching today's show. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take it away, Aki.
And as always, Levy out.
And for the people in the back, if you smell what the cough is brewing. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Ciao for now.
chest. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible